All right, so we have a lithium battery in this electric vehicle that does not have a BMS. We are not monitoring all the cells for a few different reasons. One, because this was just these packs and these cells were all very equal, and they're very powerful cells, high C rate. We can pull 2400 amps out of these cells and these batteries. So, and we can charge them at like 700 amps. So there's a lot of different reasons why, but I've found just cycling these, even on golf carts, and I've been driving this now for quite a few months, cycling this every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And so I'm going to show you real quick how to monitor your cells if you don't have a BMS on them. And if you notice them drifting apart, put a BMS on it. Don't even try to cycle the battery without monitoring the cells. But if you cycle them a few times and you notice there's barely any drift, then you might be able to get away with it for a little bit. So these are our BMS leads. So I've already checked each cell up here. So this is 10 cells and this is 2 cells. So I checked this cell and this cell and all of those, and they're all about 3.3 volts. The first thing we have to do to check the voltage of each cell is drain them. So I discharged this car until the controller was starting to shut it off, and it's under no load. These cells are sitting at 3.3 volts. I'm sure as soon as I put a load on them, they'll dip down to 2.9. But we've checked all of those and they're at 3.3. Now the back ones, close this. The back ones, I checked all of these cells and we had about 3.3 volts all across all of them except for this one. And this cell, we have 2.9 volts. So that's quite a bit lower, which means this cell definitely gives out first. And I've not checked all of these. So we're gonna go ahead and check all of these, see if there's any cells that are a little bit off there too. So I'll show you what this one looks like. Here, let me measure the low cell. So we can point it up close to the meter. So let me get it on here. So I'm going to hook it to the bottom side down there and then to this. And you can see this cell, this last one on this battery is 2.9 volts. My probes are kind of giving up. And if I go to this one, we're at 3.3 or 3.4 volts. So this one's a little lower. And we're going to check all of these ones now. And I'll show you how we do that. These. So the first thing we do is we find the wire here. So this goes, all of these terminals on this wire are fed and they're connected down to the bottom side of this battery. So just like we have all these terminals on the top side here, one of these wires off of this goes to each one of the bottom ones. So basically all I have to do is hook into the first one there, which should be this side, I think. So nope, it's this side. So if I hook into that first one and go to this cell, and you look at my meter there, you can see we got 3.2 volts on that one. If I go to the next one, you get 3.2 volts there. Now if I switch, and now I have to switch to the next bottom one and go to the next one there, and look at that one right there. See, that one's a little low, 2.9 volts. And then we'll switch to the next one in this pin, go to the next one. We're at 3 volts there. This is the one battery I've actually never checked. No, sorry, these two are the ones I've never checked. So We had 3 volts on that one. Go to the next one. We got 3.3 volts on that one. Not sure I can get to that bottom one. It would be kind of tricky. I should eventually try to get to that and test that battery, but I can at least measure the whole pack voltage and see if it's similar. And it isn't way off for some reason, so this pack's reading 30 volts. We're going to read the pack up here. I should just be able to close this. And we're going to read this pack. Try to get this in here. So I got that right there. Get over to this battery. We got 30 volts there. And this battery back here, we're at 33 volts. So these ones are a little off from the other two. But as long as you keep a close eye on them, and they don't drift a lot. If you notice your battery, your lithium battery that you're running without a BMS, after you've checked it like this, is drifting, the cells are drifting apart a lot, then don't do it. Just put a BMS on it.